Good morning, afternoon, evening to everyone here today, and welcome to Neon Lights Roleplay, and welcome back to A Blade's Will, part of our bi-weekly rotating Naruto one-shot campaign. But, more importantly, let's introduce, for the first time in a few years, actually, the cast of Team 6 of Glacier. So, in the order I call you out in, please tell us who you are, who you're playing today, and where we can find you out on the far reaches of the internet. Starting off with the one, the only sensei of Team 6, Heck!
Oh my god, I'm first. Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot. You know, I'm here on your screen, and I just saw that my business casual username is on there, but it's me, Sir Heckalot. Tonight I am returning with Fumo Kanoko, like Michelle said. She is the essentially the leader of Team 6. And yeah, no, it's wild to be back. It is very nostalgic, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of those vibes for this episode. Yeah, you can find me all over the internet, Sir Heckalot.
Alright, next up, we have the future battalion commander of Glacier Village, introducing Tate.
Oh, hey, it is me. Hello, Twitch, and hello, Internet. My name's Tate Washburn. You can find me at Twitter, at Tate the Terrific, and maybe some other places under that. It is still Twitter. I will fight Elon in a cage match for the right to continue to call it that. I today will be playing Shoji, the somewhere between a smartass and the smart aleck ice ninja swordsman who considers himself an artist of both ice and blade. And yeah, I think that's everything.
Fair enough.
Should
Next up, someone... Oh, sorry. Did I interrupt someone?
No, go.
Alright, cool. Then, next up, someone who has not appeared for, well, quite a while, actually. The one and only Spring.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I haven't been a ninja here in a while. You can find me on Twitter, either being hacked and advertising Ray-Bans, or on my furry account, where if you found it, no you didn't, I will have to stab you, in Minecraft. Aside from that, I mean, you can find me here on Twitch, and I'm in our Discord, but no one ever @s me besides @everyone.
It's a lie, and you know it. I can't believe you would say that to me in front of my face. That's crazy.
Okay, that's true. You've definitely added me for a few things, I think. So it's either an @everyone or Foxy adding me. Well, today I will be.
You're asking for now.
I will be Arashi. I will try to be a sassy little bitch.
Alright. And last but not least, while I go and find the fact that my music has just been removed from my library, Foxy!
Heyo folks, it's Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. Happy to reprise my role once again as Inazuma, errant heir of Lightning Country, brought to Glacier to hopefully not suffer these idiots too long. And I get to play me back before I was a horrible person who murdered people a whole lot. So, you know, just an innocent little Say, totally not a war criminal. I'm the cutest little guy, aren't I?
So when do we add the fox ears to Say?
I will find your family.
And invite them to dinner.
I mean, yeah.
Alright. I guess that leaves me. Hi, I keep almost forgetting to introduce myself. I'm Michelle. I'm your Sage of the Six Paths today, and I play everyone who's not these four, these four wonderful people of Team 6. But first off, some things to to note, first off, we're gonna apologize in advance for butchering any Japanese because I feel like only 1 or 2 people here have actually taken Japanese and therefore can actually pronounce things decently. Sorry, the rest of us are gonna, yeah. Next up, while our cast is taking steps to ensure everyone's comfort is respected, and I don't actually have any disclaimers for you today. If at any point you feel that you as an audience member are uncomfortable, including right now, please feel free to step away from the pages that have already been written until you are comfortable, or until next time. In either case, thank you so much for coming out to spend some time with us. I think, well, is the time to talk and set the scene. It's several years before the outbreak of the First Shinobi War. An unseasonably warm day in the Land of Water, and in the academy, full of excited, freshly minted guinea. Well, the teacher of a very specific batch flicks the hand silencing excited conversations and announces, well, looks like you all made it to Guinea. Burial speech. You're all adults in the eyes of the law now, so don't fuck it up. Don't go turning down help. And I'll be announcing your team assignments, and there will be no arguing over your assigned team. Do you understand?
Yes, Sensei.
Yeah. Shoji has made a coin out of ice and is like flipping it. Just.
Arashi's just looking out the window.
I'm just back corner moping, arms folded as per usual.
Grumpy ninja.
And as the list goes down, we finally arrive at Team 6. Inazuma Sei Tetsumaru, Yuki Shoji, and Nagaiwa Arashi, your sensei, is from Akono. You'll find your Jonin sensei seated up here. You're all shinobi of Hyogagakure now.
When the teacher announces the names, Shoji fails to catch the coin and it bounces off his head. He doesn't react to that, he just looks slowly say.
Arashi's just gonna pick up the coin and be like,
Yeah.
you dropped this.
It will he dissipate it before he answers. Like, I don't. That's not important.
Calling it now. One of you two is going to be the reason I die.
Yeah, probably.
I don't take responsibility for your actions.
That makes 2 of us. At least our sensei is half competent. Beats being stuck with... Well, respectfully, Yuki, you're nice, but party tricks will only get you so far, and Nagaiwa, you fight the way Inuzuka smells. That is to say, poorly.
Well, we're immediately leaving any amount of diplomacy off the table, I guess.
Diplomacy is for diplomats. We're shinobi.
Yeah. But making enemies of your own teammates does not help you get your job done.
I don't intend to make an enemy of either of you. I'm only putting out places you can improve, if you tend to keep up with me.
Somewhere in the back of Shoji's mind, he is starting to form the, oh yeah, keep up with you, Let's see, keep up with mother. He doesn't say any of this. Stone cold expression, just...
It's like the inner
Completely-
Sakura voice is just a little animated,
Yeah,
like black and white thing. And
It's a little ice
Completely-
statue in that way of him. Just
Fucking Jack Frost.
yeah.
Completely ignoring Shoji's grumbling, just. Well, the sensei of ours. At least A ranked in the bingo book, nickname and all. Relatively impressive.
Does that mean you'll actually listen to her?
Means I'll respect her. I say the same for either of you, so just don't get in my way.
To Arashi, do you think he's ever heard the term damning with faint praise?
No. Neither have I.
Fuck me, I guess. Alright.
Alright, you hellbrats. Listen to your Jonin senseis. The world is not going to treat you kindly. With that, your academy teacher gives each of the three of you, it's not like she didn't notice you were talking, a look. And then leaves.
Here to the end of 4 years of complete irrelevance.
Shoji's gonna chill and wait. I think this is a good time to. We
Same.
are waiting here for Sensei, yeah?
Yep.
You weren't
okay.
told to go anywhere else?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how I entered the picture. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, Kanoko is definitely not the tardy type. She's definitely very punctual. Yeah, no, she'd be there on time. Whenever, just calmly walks in. I have the feeling that she likely already knows at least a little bit about the team. At the very least what they look like. So probably sees the grouping of them amongst the different groupings of students. And yeah, no, approaches them. Welcome in, Team 6.
It's pleased to meet you, Sensei.
Yeah, Shoji, despite generally being pretty chill, is maybe the word you'd use. He does, like, stand and bow respectfully of. As is you.
Yeah, Arashi, seeing that, is gonna just like also look over to Kanako and just give a little bow. And just, nice to meet you.
So you must be Shoji Arashi Day. Okay. Got it.
He actually quirks ahead. Say, my full name is Seisu Samaru. It's not often someone refers to me by anything else.
Is that a problem?
No, I don't believe it is.
Okay.
If it sparks joy between Foxy and I think that Shoji at one point has called him Just Say, and it was not remotely that nice of a response. It was like the first day when they were both.
I put a
in school.
kunai beside your head, no question.
Yeah.
I think after a moment, Sei just kind of looks over and just. You are Umakonoko, A-rank shinobi of Kyogagakure. Your mission rank includes 147 B-rank missions, 187 A-rank missions, and 34 S-ranks. Success rate around 97.4%. You are wanted with a kill on-site bounty in Iron Country, a flee on-site bounty in Fire, and an unknown order in Hot Spring Country. Your legend precedes you.
And I thought he was the nerd. Motioning to Shoji.
It's like
Well, you've
Shoji-
certainly done. Oh,
And then yes, sir.
okay. Certainly done your reading, I suppose. Have you? I tell you what. Let's get out of the classroom, and I don't know. We can get to know all of us know each other. Let's go get some
Smelling.
ramen. How about that?
Shoji kind of,
Excellent.
sorry, say kind of like looks sideways, like this is the weirdest thing to ever ask a group of shinobi to do. Is that an order, Sensei?
Do you have to be
Leans
ordered
over.
to go eat food?
I
Yes.
don't understand why my training would include fraternizing with those less skilled than myself, is all.
Shoji's gonna lean over to Konako. It's like, he's like this.
Arashi's just like putting his hand to his head like this idiot. Even if you can take someone in a fight, having them help you will make things easier.
That would imply that
We're
I
not
need
gonna-
assistance.
We're not gonna get through this conversation here. Let's go get the food. Thank you, Sensei. I suggest fast forwarding to that scene personally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uh,
And if you don't mind me taking, I guess, a little bit of. We fast forward, we find ourselves in Jade Dragon, small restaurant just off of the main street, and despite cracked and weathered facades, it's warm. Just big enough to hold a kitchen with a bar, a few small booths. Smell freshly cooked ramen fills the air. As the chef and the owner of the restaurant also is about the kitchen. Homey notes, cracked garlic, freshly crisped chashu, the nutty scent of sesame oil just wafting out of an open window. And, well, currently it's lunch rush. Only a few patrons currently sitting in the open bar seats.
Yeah, we go sit at the bar.
Oh,
And as
huge Team
each
7
of you
vibes.
goes to sit at the bar, tell us what you look like in this moment. It's been several decades. It's been a decade at least. Maybe less. Probably changed a lot.
I don't know, who wants to go first?
I can always go first. It's never a problem. I think this is like a place Shoji goes to eat a lot already. Like this is where he spends his pocket money to get good food. So he is extremely familiar. He walks up ahead of Konako and plops down at the bar seat pretty quickly. You can see he sort of slides in on ice. He's wearing pretty standard shinobi boots for the area. Like they're not open-toed because there's just so much snow all the time. And he's wearing like a pale blue jacket. He has very black, long, messy hair that's only a little bit tied back. Like it's still a little bit in his face at this age. And he is carrying a katana on his back that is pretty like generic standard. Like it's nothing special. As at this point he hasn't really started crafting ice so much. But he still just casually does that all the time, like just little shapes and things. He'll tap his fingers and make just some like vague image of a person nearby or an object, as you can tell he's noticing that sort of thing and investigating it, as he considers himself very much a little artist. So yeah, he sits down and he's like, the usual, please. And then Tukona, because she comes up, I definitely can pay for this. I don't want to make that a thing. Your reputation as a person precedes you. My uncle often has mentioned working with you. And he'd be mad if you paid for my food. I'll be real.
Well, we wouldn't want that, now would we?
Suddenly remembers his two cousins, like, they would 100% make him mad and would enjoy it, but... So Shoji doesn't say that. He's like, yeah, we wouldn't ever make him mad on purpose.
Did you want to give a conical description since you were next up in the scene, as it were?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's been a hot minute. I'll be honest with you, I was like frantically trying to find the pick room that I made of her at whatever point. At least like from my like multiple years ago memory serves, that she had long kind of darker hair, um with brown eyes, that are always kind of like just situationally aware. It's not often very obvious in her facial expressions, but just something that she kind of keeps in mind. Kind of always knowing what's going on. Always calculating, always thinking. Um, but is I mean, pretty casually, like just wearing like darker, yes, thank you, there it is, you have it, very good. Oh, she had purple eyes, or like this kind of amethyst
No,
shade.
just
I like that. Well, cool. Can you tell this hasn't been a thing since 2021? Uh, it's fine, everything's fine. Um, but, yeah, I mean, while, that is, like, something internally that's going on, being situationally where she does have kind of this often like chill, kind of serene type what is the word? Like disposition about her. Um yeah, no, so many thoughts just left my brain as I was trying to do that at the same time. Um but yeah, let's just move off of me.
Uh, I guess. Yeah, I think after following Shoji and Konoko, Sei enters behind the two of them. He's a little shorter, I think, than both of them. Darker skin, probably even a bit darker than your average person you would see in Kyokagakude, given that he's from a foreign nation. Uh, his light teal eyes and a mop of silver hair that's kind of gathered in a bang around his headband and also in a loose ponytail hanging down his back. His garb is mostly the standard sort of shinobi gear for a young genin of Kyokagakude, with the notable exception that he keeps a tanto sheathed at his back, kind of sideways at his waist. There's a bingo book, a sort of small red notebook held in his in a sort of pocket at his left hip, and under his eyes he has the makeup of two sort of crescent moons with a black line going down the middle of them, which is kind of recognized as typical Inazuma clan heraldry, as this is before Sei stopped being proud of being an Inazuma. And I think he kind of just walks up gingerly, almost. Like, Sei had this very, very, focused, not very, very blasé demeanor about him. And I think in this moment, while that hasn't broken, he's still kind of looking around at this place as if it looks very strange to him. And he's not entirely sure what to do.
Take a seat, little duckling, and you watch as the chef, as it were, pulls out 4 bowls, warmed bowls, and waves over to the quiet one. Sit.
Before letting Arashi come in, Sei just kind of lowers his head very swiftly and says, "You have the honor and thanks of myself and my clan for this esteemed meal, your sir. I appreciate your hospitality very much."
There's just a raised brow. No need for the formalities, kid. Oh, sorry, you're all shinobi. Call me Shun. Everyone does here. You look like someone who enjoys some tonkos.
Under his breath, Arashi's just gonna say, "Well, at least his rudeness doesn't seem to extend past teammates." Arashi has sort of like pale blue hair parted off to one side and just kind of plain jacket on. It's like dark green fur to just keep warm. wearing some gloves where there's just like on the pinky and the ring finger they're fingerless, but the rest of it is normal. And on the way over here, he would occasionally like reach into a pocket and like take out a piece of candy and just eat it, as well as having like a bit of a scar on one cheek.
Say steps forward and sits down very, very cautiously, almost like not even knowing how to properly put his butt in a bar stool. I have never eaten in an establishment like this.
Well then, it's your first time? It's an honor for me. Guess, usual for the two of you. Tonkotsu for you. Chicken for you. Don't worry about the picnic. If you don't like it, it's on me. You watch as the four warm bowls, you watch as he picks up a dash of pork oil in two, drips chicken oil, the smell sort of wafting out of the bowls in the other two. A splash of a ladle, almost like an art form, a slow-cooked tonkotsu bone broth drips into the bowl with pork oil, chicken broth in the other two, or in one of the others, a nice spicy miso broth in the other. And with quick movements, he begins to drop in fresh noodles as he drops them in a vat of boiling water, plucks them out, and then in nary a flash you see watches vegetables are artfully arranged on top, meats, and slides the bowl over to you. One tonkotsu ramen with extra chashu and egg, another tonkotsu bowl for the formal one with extra menma, nori, and shiitake, bowl of chicken with extra noodles and less veggies for the quiet one, bowl of spicy miso with charred salmon, and fried eggplant for Yuki, and, well, you know where the extra seasonings are for the both of you, don't you? Help yourself.
Paige kind of leans over to Kanoko. How does he know?
It's best not to ask too many questions. He just knows.
He knows.
I've never had tonkatsu ramen before. Is he certain I will like it?
He's
Certain
generally
enough
not
that-
wrong. Even though he's like, it'll be on me if you don't like it, he's usually right. He just says that. Probably just a gloat.
Say looks at the bowl, looks at everyone looking at him, picks up the chopsticks very ceremonially, offers a very slight bow, rolls his shoulders, sits properly, breaks them formally, picks up a single noodle, spins it, and his eyes just light up, and he just starts devouring every small morsel of it. All decorum lost, all like cadence forgotten. This is the teenage boy eating a meal now.
Well, maybe he'll be in a better mood after this.
Another victory for the food ninja and his excellent info gathering, I always assume. Thank you for the meal. Shoji does like the same like respectful pose, but just very quick and far more casual of thank you for the meal. And also just immediately starts digging in. He has never once had to say what he wants. He's always just said the usual. It sometimes changes what he gets. It's always good.
Sei, who is in the middle of already diving in, looks over at Shoji and Arashi and starts trying to eat faster than both of them.
Between food.
Say, you can just savor it. It's not a competition.
Yeah, Shoji doesn't speed up. He's like, nah, see, this is
like-
one of the things you should look at your
Like, I don't
teammates
want
for more
like,
experience.
yeah, Arashi's just slowly eating it because
You'll like it better.
if you eat it too fast, it'll be gone.
In my head, we say the same these things at the same time. It is just as overlayered as that. We are not
This is said
considering.
as Sei is like in the middle of like one. One.
You say that. You say that,
But
but I have more ramen
strangely-
to enjoy, and you're done.
I'm strangely desiring more. Yuki, part with yours.
Oh. You
Not
Say,
tried
you
that
can just
kind yet.
order another bowl.
Shoji starts building a small ice wall between him and Say. No, that's why I'm savoring it, man.
Say, you can just order a second bowl. You won the competition, so you can have this one slower.
Say genuinely like slowly cranes his head around to you, Arashi, and like really might expect like sarcasm or like annoyance on his face. There's genuine wonder. Can have as many as I want?
I'm gonna look to Konako and be like,
She's also just kind of taking in all of this and like just really like developing like in her mind just like just like profiles of each student now of like, okay, this is what I'm working with,
Do you have a headache already?
and like you can has this seems like a new concept to you.
In the time since I arrived in the Glacier village, I usually eat my meals in the compound. One of the servants hands me a plate, I consume it until I'm done, and then that's it. And before then, well, my family never took me out much.
Shoji doesn't say
I
anything.
see.
Oh, sorry. Shoji doesn't say anything, but I think you can see on his face, if you are paying attention, he's like reconsidering all of his interactions with Sei of like...
he's like,
Oh.
damn.
Like,
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, alright.
The gruff exterior makes more sense from an abusive upbringing potential.
Like, yeah, internally, he's definitely like, yeah, I thought that this person was just another spoiled kid who's like way too into his family.
Yeah,
Shoji's
you
like,
bum bitches, I got debt,
20
get fucked!
Yeah. Well, Shoji's like the 27th kid. He's not important in his family, so he always finds people who think their family's important deeply annoying. He's like, oh, okay. This is the other direction. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
The ice wall doesn't come down. He's still worried that...
yeah, keep your food
It's fine, I'm
safe.
still plotting on your ramen.
It's fine, because as soon as Sei looks down, he sees that there's like, instead of one large bowl of ramen, you look down and see smaller individual bowls with a little bit of like, try a sampler then, kid.
This village is amazing. He just starts eating
It
again.
really is.
Arashi's gonna
We found
look to the shop owner and be like, I don't know if he's gonna go anywhere else to eat after this, like ever again.
You
And
thought
that-
Shoji was this show's Naruto.
You just you see a wide smile on Shun's face. Good quality means good customers.
I mean, you got
Well,
him to
the
smile, so can't argue with that.
Yeah, you performed a miracle. You found something that we agree on.
Even Sei nods at that mid-ramen bowl.
Got a fine trio of ducklings, Konoko.
I think I really lucked out on these guys.
Tastes too prickly to be a duckling.
Just wait until we cause trouble for
Porcupine.
you. I'm sure it won't be.
Oh, if you cause trouble, even in a place like this, it'll be the first and last time. You're gonna regret it, so don't think about it.
I didn't
Yeah,
say it would be on purpose.
Yeah. The ice wall comes down very seriously to say, this is neutral ground, right? That's like
Yeah,
just a rule
yeah.
we have to establish right now.
Yeah, no, you
Between the
don't
three
mess
of us.
around in the ramen
Wait.
shop.
Yeah, no, Sei just looks between, like, Shun's calm face and Konoko's direct focus face, and it's just like,
Like there was absolutely this like shift, like how like the backgrounds between like a character talking and like they're being intimidating. It's like the different like marks around them.
All of
It's
like,
like it shifts from like the just very like chill like normal cadence to like
Like, I will
the
end you.
intimidating marks. Yeah.
It will be the last time you cause trouble anywhere. Like
Exactly.
dark black
Yes,
lines in the
Sensei.
background behind Konoko.
Exactly.
A chilly wind behind her.
This is
Very
her
good.
genjutsu, unlike Liam Guy Sensei's
Yes.
Infinite Sunset.
If this was the actual anime, there would be like a 7-second moment of like the camera freezing on each of our frozen faces, and they would just be frozen mid-ramen like an intimidation jutsu. Incredible.
And then crows
Yeah.
would take
Powerful.
off, like, call.
Caw, caw.
Kanako would be
Exactly,
like, I don't know
that's
how
the
the crows
vibe.
keep finding me.
Where do
Those
they
aren't even
come
native to
from?
this place.
They're not
They
part of the
always
jutsu.
know when Konoko's mad. Alright. Anything else you want to talk about in the scene here, or?
Oh, I mean, the only thing is like notably, 'cause I thought this was a very funny bit when I came up with this 3 years ago. Notably, you all like haven't really noticed Kanoko eating, but like when you actually do look at like either the ramen bowl or something, like it's empty. Like she definitely ate it, but you never saw her do it.
We get another close-up freeze of Sane's focused face mid-ramen. So fast.
Wait,
That's my favorite
we
headcanon
should
thing is
rewind a
we're
little
just-
bit. Rewind a little
I
bit, and we
want, like-
have her empty
Sorry.
bowl be before Say finished his bowl.
Absolutely. He's
Like, I'm done.
so
It's like, looks.
I feel like if this like episode 1 of our version of the Naruto anime has like 7 moments of Konoko doing some random, completely mundane thing and say being like, she's so incredible. How does she do that?
I think for the bowl specifically, though, Shoji's like exactly like Uncle said.
Incredible.
Sei does put his bowl down and just, Sensei, I believe it's appropriate. Would you like introductions on any of our abilities and capabilities at this point? Perhaps to know how we best might function best as a team.
Sure, I think that would probably be helpful.
Very well. As I understand it, I have been trained in the Inazuma arts since I was old enough to walk. Thus, I am proficient with my family's Kekkei Genkai, allowing me to lace my body in photo-reflective chakra and turn invisible. Subsequent to that, I've trained myself in hunter and arts to be proficient in stealth, infiltration, target gathering, and assassination. My chakra control is sufficient, my jutsu control is moderate, my genjutsu skills are lacking and can use work, but my taijutsu is sufficiently well.
I can always go if you need me.
Yeah, any takers for who's next?
I will go next if you need a moment.
As a Nagawa, I specialize in genjutsu and being able to utilize extra chakra reserves that my clan has to empower that.
Shoji looks at Konoko after that. Obro's pretty much dead in the eye and goes, I'm a swordsman. And, like, has been using his family clan, like, ice jutsu all day, doesn't mention it, like, pointedly doesn't mention it.
Huh. There's just like this sizable like mental piece of paper that is just like
Oh, yeah.
growing in notes.
I think Shoji destroys whatever ice thing he has even right
yeah.
before he says it and goes,
Arashi's gonna just like look over and be like, "Is it like a special ice sword?"
no.
Sei uncharacteristically leans backwards towards Arashi. I think he's insecure about it.
I mean, I'm not gonna
Yes,
push
that was
on it. I don't
loud
want to
enough
get
for you to hear.
I'm not
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
push on it. I don't want to get stabbed by the swordsman.
That would certainly be improper.
Shoji is pointedly ignoring both of them and is effectively still staring Konoko down until there's some kind of response on that. But if she says just sure, then he'll go back to finishing his food. He's savoring it.
Well, I'm sure by assigning you all together, council saw that this was a good match, a well-rounded team. So I'll trust them on that.
Is it always that, or do they just put the troublemakers together?
Maybe a little column A, a little column B. Multiple factors that go into it, but my pay grade still isn't high enough to know what that is.
Damn, with all you've done. Yeah, guess
Maybe
there's only
that's
so
why.
much pay to go around.
I will be rare
Maybe
here
that's
and admit
why.
that I agree with the Nagaiwa here. You are skilled, Sensei. Your record sheet is long, and there are many shinobi outside of this land who would fear your name. You should be on track to be a Kage at this point.
Well, I'm not sure if that's flattery or not.
It's
but-
curiosity. I'm just wondering what would keep you from pursuing that path immediately. My assumption wouldn't certainly be it's anything for as far as skill or fear, so then I'm left with only really one assumption. He leans over, just, you have a secret partner.
Arashi just laughs
So
out
many
loud at that
question
one.
marks. What?
Or she doesn't want to deal with the paperwork.
It is a lot of
Or it
paperwork.
takes someone of her skill to handle us.
True.
Leans
Although-
towards, say, as he says it.
That's all he says.
Yeah, maybe they want her to train you to have as big of a record as her.
A kind of like leans forward and just, I will not need any training for that. My goals are straightforward and simple. I intend to surpass my father, be the greatest Inazuma that has ever lived, change my clan's name.
Do you owe your clan that much?
They owe me that much.
Sounds like you could make a name for yourself. Doesn't matter that you're Inazuma, you will just be Sei.
Yeah, that's my goal. I want to be so famous people don't even think about my clan name. I'm gonna be
But everyone
famous.
decides how important their name is.
Well,
Shoji
You can
tries
decide
not
how
to
important
agree
it
with
is
that,
to
but
you.
clearly agrees with that. Sorry.
yeah, you can decide how important it is to you.
Perhaps.
Obviously, not something that you need to do now, but just remember, clan name doesn't mean everything.
Shoji does openly agree with that. Yeah.
Sei looks over at you, Arashi, and is quiet for a long time. Well then, we know who the smart one is.
Thanks.
He turns back. It's the closest you're ever going to a compliment. Fuck you.
I said thanks.
Take the
I'll
win.
take it.
The win.
Just take the win and shut the fuck up. That's all you're getting.
Yup.
It's like
Arashi will like offer a piece of candy to.
He takes it
him
and
to-
pockets it. I'm not eating that in front of you right now. You won't. You're not getting
That's
that from
fine. You don't need to.
me. He
It's like
looks
dealing
back
with
at
a
Konoko.
small deer. You don't want to spook him.
He looks back over to Konoko. Sensei, is our plan to begin training today? Is there a mission we should accomplish or something else we should do?
How late is it in the day?
It is currently lunchtime. In fact, it's
Yeah,
a little
we
bit after lunch rush hour.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything too intensive planned for today, but just a couple of field exercises.
Arashi looks at her and then back to
Okay.
the others and back to her and be like, now it's a little bit just because she might just want to test us and not have us be too guarded on it.
The moment Konoko gives any inclination as to field exercises or anything, Sei immediately straightens up and just, of course, says it.
Shoji finally finishes his bowl. Yeah, sounds good.
Better than some other senseis who I hear run tests on empty stomachs.
Can we talk about how fucked up Kachi's teaching style is right now, or do we save that for like the post show? Because let me tell you, what a horrible fucking teacher. I love him. I love him as a character, but what a horrible fucking teacher.
Oh yeah.
We'll wait for the post show because there's a whole YouTube series about that I love. Anyway.
Mm.
I think at this point we can sort of. Unless there's something else you guys want to. Alright. Then we're gonna let this scene sort of fade out. And then come in on train round 5 with the 4 of you. We talk about what happens here. Take a quick break, shall we?
See ya in a minute.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi everybody.
And we return to, well, what looks like a scene of perhaps a bit of, how do I put it? Bedlam?
This is
Chaos.
Chaos works. Yeah, it's just chaos.
Hanako
Chaos works.
kicking the shit out of her students.
I like Bedlam.
Stop.
No, not yet.
Hey, we're adults. We can handle you punching the fuck out of us.
Okay. Yeah, legally you're adults now.
We
The
are
eyes of
adults.
the
You are
law.
allowed to beat us up.
Hospital
No.
visits build character.
Oh.
Broken bones re-heal stronger, friends.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, technically, yes, but also, damn.
We signed up to be ninja, not, referees.
Not
I
training
fucking love
dummies.
this song, by the way. Anywho, yeah. So, I guess I'll take the lead. I take the lead first in this. We open on like
Right.
from the feet, like coming up from the ground is like Sei's shoe, like Sei's ninja soul shoes, and like up to his cargo pants. In his hands, he is holding a sculpture of like marble that is carved in what looks like a very, very jagged mountain peak. There's even a line in the middle of what kind of looks like snow. And it gets to his face, and he's just kind of looking around kind of frantically, and then suddenly joints left as a brace of kunai just line the white space where he used to be. Okay, Sensei, that felt a bit close, I'll be honest.
I think that's the point.
You should describe what you're doing because you just did a line, I think.
All right, fine. Arashi's holding like this kind of like big flat bottom of a sculpture with like two sort of bases lifting out of it, but they're just missing the top part. Just like glancing around, trying to listen for any movement, and just having to like leap out of the way as a kunai flies by and then explodes behind him, just sending him tumbling across the ground.
Shoji's like response to this is, "No, this seems about right," and by reputation. And he has in his left hand, sort of in front of him, a peak that looks similar to Sei's. It comes to a point, so he has to sort of handle it. But he is actually looking backward, and with his katana now out, like blocks a series of shuriken, but it leaves his sword up at the end like a fancy flourish, which then two kunai with a wire between them fly at the very base of it and knock it out of his hand, and he has to like scramble to grab it for a second. Is that with it?
Hey, watch it, Yuki. Nagawa, on your feet.
Pay attention to your own statue, he says.
Mine is fine.
If I could give you a little bit of advice, like as the camera pans up and Kanoko is like standing on one of the tree branches above.
That's so cool.
I could give you a little advice. You might want to pay attention to each other's statue, because here's the last part of the test. If you drop any of those and they break, you all automatically fail the test.
I thought we were good after the ramen.
Oh no.
Lured us into a false sense of security.
Oh,
Well, she does
fucking-
have a good track record, I suppose.
Less talking, more dodging. Move.
At that moment, Arashi just
It was
like
like, "Here I go."
leaps across the ground as Kunai just embed in the ground behind where he was.
Not even seeing her throw those. Continues to simply like block and try and steadily like perfect form move, but has to do this from like every angle. At one point, has to block like just cover it with his body. Is fine getting just a little stabbed in the shoulder.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Kunai embeds in you instead of
If
the
anything,
sculpture.
she would throw it opposite so like the ring part hits you instead.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
she's not
so-
gonna stab anybody.
So your arm
That
bruises.
shit would still
'cause
hurt
Yeah.
though. Like no
Yeah,
cap.
yeah,
it's hard,
for sure.
but it wouldn't like stab you.
It
Yeah.
would break the sculpture if he didn't block it.
Yeah,
So he has
exactly.
to take that route.
Yeah.
I'd say he is willing to
This
get
is take
stabbed in the
one.
shoulder rather than doing something else.
Yeah,
I think he
Sage kind of
tries to-
jumps and like lands backwards on like a tree branch, not even far from Konoko. Like
I
holds
feel
the
like
statue
I'm
in
not
one
gonna
hand.
make it the whole time at this rate.
Yeah,
Just keep your eyes open and watch every move she makes. And kind of like looks directly at Sensei.
She makes a lot of moves.
Shut up. Focusing. And she's gonna stare straight at Konoko and wait to see what move she makes.
Yeah.
in the background, Shoji is moved towards Arashi in what we'll recognize as the defensive pose he takes often in the future. But here he's just like, I can group up with this person.
You're like, Say'll be fine.
If he wants to go 1v1 the teacher, I'm just gonna have to save him later. But I also need to be here with you.
I appreciate it.
Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, no, she'll make her move to like get towards like the happy middle ground, like between the three of them, even if they are separating.
He's gonna attack all of us.
What's your move?
And just like the same move.
No, I think like Sensei's still standing there. Like the moment she's gone, he just like looks behind him and is like, I didn't even see her move.
So what does she do? Shoji's not reacting. I mean,
We're
he's
just
reacting
watching.
to this,
We're all
not saying
waiting.
anything.
He's terrified.
Well, okay,
right now.
because I think it's more dependent on like if Sei is gonna move. I think it'd be very funny if like she faked him out, like she moves forward and then he starts moving and didn't notice that there was like a rope trap or something that does like
Oh,
the
no.
little
Yeah.
upside down thing.
Absolutely.
Because
He
the
like,
focus was solely on that.
yeah, he's like, she doesn't see me. So an angle and like tries to like jump to the side. Wire just
And
wraps around one of his legs and just and he's upside down.
Remember,
Uh,
Sensei picked the location.
He just kind of hangs
I think
there. I wasn't cautious. I paid for it. Just swinging back and forth.
Come on,
It's
Say,
not
you
actually
can
his
get out of
hand.
that.
I think Shoji's just like, no. Oh, sorry. Did he get out himself? I was like,
He's just watching, and I was kind of just like passing the camera over to one of y'all for a moment while I dealt with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Arashi, if you want to do something for him, but I think Shoji would start acting as much as they have animosity.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Try and help, because I think he has his sword and he like seems reluctant to, but he's shit, and he sort of drops it point down so that it will stick. It does pull out a kunai like in one smooth motion, because this is what he is actually very good at, and he enjoys. It's a regular kunai. He does not make it out of ice, and he is going to. I think he doesn't try and chuck it right at the wire, but he does put it like right next to Sai's like head, where he can easily reach it, and it's almost he could use it as a handhold to sort of lift himself back up, if that makes sense.
Say
like,
looks
I don't
over and like nods, but doesn't say anything.
But in the effort of then doing that to grab the sword, I think, Konoko, if there's an interesting trap that you have now already sprung into motion about that, because he's fully going back for his sword, even if that's not the smartest move.
Oh my god. What if like I feel
You
like a
do it.
lot of it has to do like considering like if you can't really plant any like deadly traps or anything, they're
Yeah.
all just meant to restrain you all.
I mean, you
And
could do
even
a
if
little bit
temporarily.
You could do
deadly.
ice.
No, I think
bit
it'd be
deadly.
very funny if like yeah, the next thing that you do if you're going for your sword, you
Mhm.
step on another kind of ground trap that has like shoots out like a bunch of like silly string almost that like falls over and sticks you to the ground.
It could actually be like a poof of snow and then it's ice because like that's an
Oh yeah.
extremely common Yuki jutsu that you could easily.
I
just
feel
throw
like
in
she
attack.
wouldn't use ice against you, though.
Counterpoint: Shoji has not used ice.
True.
Since
No,
She's forcing you to use ice.
considering the meeting
True.
in the ramen
True.
shop,
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
she probably would.
Yeah, you're right.
So in my head, he like
Just to poke
grabs it.
a little bit, poke at that, see what that does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like because the swords point down, he grabs it and that's what triggers it. So now the sword is frozen to the ground and his hand is frozen to the sword. Being a Yuki, it's like not really gonna hurt him, but now it's like stuck. He's like shit.
Like,
And
come on, you gotta
he's
move.
trying to pull it up. It's like yeah.
They-
And,
They, seeing that the two people who are relatively competent in close combat are both disabled now, leaving only Arashi, just looks over. Yagawa, motherfucker!
It's like, fine. Just Arashi goes to like dash away. I assume this is an opening for Kaneko.
Yeah. He starts to run away. And a foot sticks out from one of the bushes nearby. Trip.
And where are you kicking Arashi?
I'm just sticking like a foot out just to trip him.
Okay. All right, Arashi is gonna trip over the foot, and something's gonna like fall out of his pocket, and with a little sparkle of light on it, and a jingle, and then just like having to sort of like somersault to recover. Arashi like stands up and is like, "I was expecting her to be a little more aggressive than that."
For yourself, Say says,
Wait.
hanging from a fucking tree.
which is then a cue for Kaneko to do something much worse.
Yeah, no. Saying that, like she's probably like going to actually chase after you. And yeah, just go for directly destroying the statue.
Oh dear.
We're doing
no.
close combat
All
now.
right, what's,
It's just like
what's she throwing at me?
just your basic like taijutsu essentially. Just
It's gonna punch you
we're
in the
going
fucking
hand in
stomach,
hand.
my nigga.
All right,
Knock your
Arashi's
goddamn
like
block
kind
off,
of hugging
nigga.
it to himself with one arm and like trying to like move to just block the hits with like either like an arm to like deflect it or just like take the hit with something else so that the statue doesn't get shattered.
We get another like close in zoom Say moment. She's still gonna cut taijutsu. It'll shatter his arm.
You hear a crunch like as the arm that's used to block just like kind of moves in a way that it shouldn't.
Man, y'all are so much more ready to like injure your characters than I am.
Hey, I told
are
you
Shinobi.
what I'm doing.
I know.
Do a big hit. Do a big hit. Come on.
Okay.
I already laid the groundwork for this. Do a big hit.
Yeah, no, she's gonna go to grab that sculpture. She is ready to do it.
All right, Arashi's like hugging it under himself. So you grab Arashi. What are you gonna do? Come on, do it.
Do it, Sensei.
something.
Hit your student.
What?
Punch your fucking student. Do it.
You are
Do
a
it.
hardened
Hit them.
No.
ninja. Do it.
Broken
right,
bones
we-
heal faster. Heal
We
better.
do a safe, good technique body slam. How about that?
Hey.
Appropriate.
All right, Arashi getting body slammed into the ground, just like. And as Kaneko like really like slams him into the ground, the body sort of like fades away, and she's now just on nothing on the ground, while the sound of a bell jingling from where it fell earlier echoes, and Arashi is like running over near Sei.
Jutsu.
She's
like,
Say
she stands back up. Not
I
bad.
think she found out.
It's the
Say
same bush
takes
that
the
she tripped
kunai.
you from.
Yeah, Say takes the kunai out of the tree and uses just like slice down the wire and like drop to the ground as like I assume both Arashi and Shoji show up and just okay, regroup. I don't think fighting individually is working.
It's definitely not.
Okay, hear me out on this. If we're all holding our and defending our own statues, we have at maximum 3 hands, and that's in the best case scenario. But there are 3 of us here, and these statues all fit together. If we let one of us at a time hold them, the other 2 can hold her off.
I mean, if you think you can do that, then sure.
Shoji
What do you
has
say,
drug
Yuki? Here.
Most of an Shoji has drug most of an ice like ball at the end of his sword to this point, till finally like slamming it against a rock to shatter the rest
He's
of it.
trying to break it.
Finally, it's small enough. Like he's been trying to reduce this as much as possible without doing anything extreme. It's like,
We can't
yeah, all right, and
we can't take her on 1-to-1 or even 2-to-1 like this. She's not an A-rank Jonin for no reason. I hate to say this, but I think the 3 of us will need to coordinate this.
Who are you and what have you done with Say?
Shut
All
up.
right, no, there's no time. Take this. Arashi just like hands Say something, doesn't say anything else, hands something to
yeah, Shoji. I think that also
To Shoji.
while you do that, you can see Shoji has moved your base and taken the 2 statues and put them together, and has finally coats it in ice to sort of fit it into one piece so it doesn't fall
to
apart.
coat it nice and sort of protect it. I think.
Yeah.
Mhm. Say
just-
holds the object in his hand, and like as he looks at it, looks over at Arashi and he actually gives a really uncharacteristic smirk, and then nods. You ready, Yuki?
I'll give us cover. And there's some hand signs, and there's just this like poof of snow to obscure everything. And then
But I think-
first thing. Sorry.
Yeah. I imagine like we get like this like point of view like from Konoko, like as she's like walking forward, just like the poof of smoke goes up.
hmm And first thing, Shoji, sword drawn, sprints right at her. Like a very serious, almost angry scowl. Comes in for just a sharp stab, and the moment before he's actually engaged with Konoko, he just vanishes, revealing, I assume, Sei right behind him.
Who is dashing straight out of the smoke. His hand's behind him as he immediately draws his tanto and spins it into his hand, comes low and just starts swiping at Konoko. And the moment she dodges back, is following up, engaging her in close combat. Like, I'm swinging at you with the sword. You better draw a kunai or something.
Yeah, no, she takes out probably like a wakizashi or something like that, shorter kind of sword.
Absolutely.
And yeah, is going to be kind of defending those like tit for tat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Say just kind of like stays focused in there, like keeps the constant focus on her as much as possible. Like, isn't letting her get a moment where he's like solely focused, like constantly blade pointing in, parrying attacks, countering, feigning, a lot of really direct blade work.
It's like there's like the inner monologue, like as the exchange is happening of it's like, okay, but where did
I think that would be
the other one go? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be the moment that Shoji shows back up, and if it sparks joy, this could be the moment that the twist happens.
Oh yeah,
Of
absolutely.
hand signs, and then hand to the ground. And there's a lattice work of lightning as an illusion is dropped.
And
Try to
like
keep you to the floor.
Say like meets Konoko like blade for blade, and kind of like starts doing some hand signs like with their hand together. You figure it out, Sensei. And the illusion drops, and in Sei's place is Shoji. Ice dome of
Shoji's
nothingness. I'm sorry, I should give you a chance to do that. My bad. Do you think?
Well, yeah. So it's the blades are locked, and you can see now the sword is not his katana. It is in fact still a tanto that is made of ice. So your sword is your blade is dug into it and then frozen around. And then yeah, it's the hand signs are when the illusion drops, and it's I think it's not Ice Dome of Nothingness. It is the ice field that it is layering over the lightning on the floor to try and then come up your legs and hold you there as he slams his hand to the ground.
From
I
the
feel like Arashi
background.
probably also gonna say
And then
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, Arashi, add a thing here. Yeah.
all right, and then
many debuffs as possible to make one landing move.
yeah. So with all that done, Arashi just like silently just like has been like coating a kunai while standing like on the bottom of one of the branches of a tree nearby, and just throws the kunai at Kaneko, and it just like barely nicks her.
Yeah.
Oh,
think-
okay. Oh yeah, there's that like, momentary shock on her face that settles back into a not bad expression. It's like she's
It's
definitely
I'm so
like
proud of these dumb
gauging
boys.
like like these different ideas and everything. And I think given that like she momentarily like at least can't take steps at this point, she is going to directly punch the ground to fracture everything,
Oh.
cause like those fissures and that like earthquake type effect to free yourself. But it's definitely gonna probably affect, if y'all are still closer nearby, it's gonna affect the radius of where y'all are at too.
Yeah. Say is like right at the edge of that area, but still has to like find like leaping into the air like off of rocks. Eventually, just like leaps straight up and is like, "Damn it! I only get one shot at this." And he starts like in midair as he's descending, just like, "Yuki, Arashi, great work! Keep her still." And like drops his hand as low as he can, starts doing hand signs, and his whole arm uncontrollably corrodes, like erupts in lightning. Chidori! And then he vanishes.
The moment he says Shoji has dashed back to the snow cloud that is falling, you can see they just like left the statue there, like we got this. And now he's going back effectively to defend it. Like he's sprinting for it. Like I hope that they make this work because I am not letting this fail because we failed.
On you,
Yeah.
Sensei. I'm coming at you full
Yeah,
speed.
I mean, like, you disappeared, but like, are you reappearing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna because this isn't the canon Naruto where the Uchiha can use Chidori because of their like the whole Sharingan thing and that.
Yeah.
The way the Inazuma compensate for the tunnel vision of Chidori and its speed is by going invisible when doing it. So the idea that I'm invisible until I hit you.
But invisible
I
see,
wonder how
okay.
imperceptible.
Sensei is feeling after being hit with a kunai coated in paralytic agent.
Oh, yikes! Jesus Christ.
I don't know
for
my
it.
teammates.
I mean, you'll
Never
still
say
be
that
able to
loud.
move
I love my
some.
teammates.
It's not that fast acting.
Yeah.
Also, you're so much higher rank, you could just say nah at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, the
frankly.
next thing that, like, I was thinking is, like, just doing it, like, a transformation due to just becoming a log and appearing somewhere else.
Yeah.
If it's for a
The
moment, I
log,
think it would
we
be
need
That
the
it.
sounds
moment-
fun. Praise be to the log.
Praise
For the
be to the
log is
log.
coming.
It would be the
Log.
moment. It would probably be
I
the
thought
moment
the
that, like,
log.
Wait.
Log one.
Change log with something more snow, like land related.
the snowman.
You change with a snowman.
Or
It's a
better
very good
yet, like, more just like a snow, like, version of Kanoko. So it's like
Oh,
more of
yeah,
a
I like that. I
culture.
like
Yeah. Just as
No clone. Hell
But
yeah.
in my head, if we do this scene, it would be Sei disappears. Arashi is just watching, like, tense as Konako is. Shoji's running. And it would be the moment Sei just appears and lightnings through her, is then it reveals.
And there's just like a poop of
just an
snow.
explosion of snow. Yeah, I love that.
yeah,
Okay.
like,
It's silhouetted for a
Sei-
second, so it looks like gore.
Yeah.
Yeah, say,
And
I don't-
say
then
like
I don't think
it was
reappears.
like the light comes
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, say like reappears directly in front of Konoko, like eyes wide, Chidori all in his hand, and swings, and like see the spray of something hit his face, and then his eye kind of widen as he recognizes it's snow, and is still sailing Mach 2 straight through the snow version of Konoko. Like we get a full slow mo of him just like going through and realizing, oh fuck, I missed, and just careens into the woods and hits a tree at Mach 2.
Just like, I think we only got her with the kunai from surprise.
I love that. Yeah. With one leg temporarily down, who is left? Like, who else do I have to take down?
Me and
Shoji is running towards the statue. He's not attacking Konako, but if Konako
I thought you
was,
left the statue with me. That's the assumption I had.
Oh, sorry.
You did, yes.
I think he's still running towards the statue is to be like, if this hit doesn't work, we need to defend that shit.
Yeah, I was up under on the branch of a tree using my chakra control to just like be under it.
Up there.
But I kind of revealed myself when attacking before, so Kanako definitely knows at least the vicinity where I am.
Yeah. And given that, at least what I remember from the old mechanics being the breaking the ground being a taijutsu, I can actually follow that up with the step of the leaf, which is actually a speed jutsu. So yeah, she's at this point the goal is to outspeed the rest to the statue, knowing that there was an attack from Arashi, and Shoji is also somewhere. Now has an eye kind of where Sei went, is absolutely going to go for that.
If it sparks joy, if Arashi has it, Shoji's running at it. What if they all line up and effectively it's like corner pocket trick shot, all three of them?
Please
yes,
yes. Because in my head, it's basically Konako in a similar like the way that Sei just appeared intense-eyed. It's like that, and is about to just absolutely deck the statue in Arashi's hands. And it's just the moment that happens that Shoji barely makes it to Arashi, and that's Ice Dome of Nothingness. And so instead, a ball of ice is containing two idiots is flung at high speeds to the third one.
Sei is like
see what
coming out of the bush,
so
picking Sei is like coming out of the bush, picking like a leaf out of his hair and just can't believe that smashes directly into him.
It tumbles, rolls, and then hits a tree and then shatters. And you see that Sei punched through the hole, like punched through the shell because it only has so much HP, and I already basically had none left after the hit.
Yeah.
And so now they're just like in a pile in front of this tree.
And the sculpture's just lying there for Kanako to come over and like step on and break.
Yet, it's like mid-air and Konoko catches it.
She catches the statue?
Yeah.
She should break it.
No,
do it.
She's holding it and looks down at the three students that are now on the ground.
Break it.
This is not bad. Gotta say, for day one, you all caught me off guard a couple of times. That wasn't bad.
It's at the bottom of the pile.
Thank you,
Sei,
Sensei.
absolutely.
Also, ow.
Sei just sets his head up. My father used to say he was training as if he was trying to kill me. Why do I feel like this is the worst I've ever been hurt in my life?
Arashi's also gonna ask, is time up yet?
Yeah.
Time is up. And
alright, and the statue vanishes from in your grasp, and just like, you see that it was once again hidden with Genjutsu, and it's just like on the ground, kind of nearby.
So is it actually just back where the puff of snow was?
Yeah, we all left it there, and we're pretending to take it.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, wasn't expecting you to just let us pass, but thanks.
The point wasn't just about the statue. It was working together, and she goes and picks up the statue and comes back and sits down at the level of you three on the ground.
Okay after that, can I?
And she'll sit with the statue in her lap. Says, the way that you fit these three sculptures together is how you need to think about working with each other. If you don't work as a team, you will not keep this village together. Do you understand?
Yes, Sensei.
Yes, Sensei.
Yes.
Are you like immune to the kunai thing? Arashi's just incredulous at like her being completely unaffected.
If you will, could I briefly make Konoko like the most badass person in the world?
Sure.
I think Sei looks and just, no, look closer. Her muscles aren't moving. She's controlling her body entirely with chakra right now.
What the fuck?
I love that.
Amazing.
Well, all right. I guess that doesn't work on her then. Good to know. Well,
It doesn't work on her yet.
since she's with us, I think we should keep that to ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Could come in handy.
Sensei, or Sei just shoves Arashi off of him finally and like rolls over.
It's like,
So, we pass?
what it sounds like.
Shoji has taken
Ow.
like just snow, and he sort of like has rubbed it around his head and his neck and his chest to like cool off. And so he just takes like what's left of this, or he makes like a new handful and just not like a snowball, just like a fluff at Sei. He's like, yeah. She just said the point was teamwork, and I'll be honest, your plan was pretty good, damn it. It's the last one.
Arashi scored highest in chakra control. Genjutsu is naturally good at that. Look good at something they're good at. You, while you can't match me for speed, can match me blow for blow in physical combat, and even exceed me in blade work. On top of that, your ice is better for disabling people. The natural strategy was work together in this instance. If only I'd actually landed that hit. Apologies for that.
I mean, you can't really fault yourself for Sensei
Yeah,
being
right.
able to outdo you.
Yeah.
She has way more experience.
Indeed.
I will beat you in speed one day, damn it. I will.
I'm sure you'll get to that point.
Say
Sooner
just
rather
looks
than
over
later.
at Shoji and just like as makes the comment like I'll beat you speed one day, just like on your grave you will.
Get a room, you two.
Hey.
So
Well, that's enough poking and prodding at each other. Good work today. You've passed for today, but don't let that get to your heads too much. Some of the real training will start tomorrow.
of
Is
course,
it gonna hurt
Sensei.
worse than this? Because this was pretty
Probably.
bad.
Only through lifting and
If you do it right, it shouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Will we be receiving our first assassination contract soon then, Sensei? Our missions outside of the village?
With that, yeah, and all the paperwork that I have to go do now. Yes.
Well then. Genin Squad 6, huh? Suppose I don't hate how that sounds too much.
Yeah. I'm sure you can put up with it until we become tuning. Which, if
Thanks.
you're anything to go by, it'll be pretty soon.
Flattery won't get you anywhere, Nagawa. All the same, I appreciate it.
Mhm.
I expect that when I make Chunin, you'll either be right there beside me, or somewhere beneath me, wishing you were as good. Let's hope for the former.
Sure.
Don't have to encourage him, Arashi. You really don't.
I know, but it's so boring if we don't.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably fast forward scene personally.
Actually, if you don't mind, I have one last thing before we like fast forward scene.
Mhm.
I think Sei like is like sitting there kind of like quietly for a little bit as we're kind of moving away and just. What are your goals? All of you. What do you want to do with Shinobi? I told you earlier I want to supersede my clan, become better than my father, oversee the Inazuma name and make it something better than its history. I'd also maybe like to, I don't know, have a family someday, I suppose. That doesn't sound too bad. The rest of you?
That sounds nice. I want to protect people. There's so much bad in the world, and we can do we can do things with our abilities that will help put a stop to that. Other people don't have to suffer like people have suffered before them.
Shoji kind of grins like, "You're making me feel selfish." And then
You don't have to
like
be self-sacrificing.
yeah, and then like less of a grin but more serious. He's like, "But I was being serious at the ramen shop. I'm gonna be famous. No one's gonna think about me as just another Yuki. My name is gonna be what they remember."
I'm sure they will.
And his smile's like, "And you know, if I can have a fun time along the way and kick some ass and save people because we're good people, sounds like a plan."
And eat good ramen.
Well, that goes without saying. That's not even a goal, that's a lifestyle.
Maybe
You weren't exempt from this either. What are your goals as a shinobi?
Only he would give orders to his own sensei.
he just wants to hear her talk.
This is where like inner say goes. This is where we find out about their secret partner.
Oh my god.
That's good.
I've heard you all talk a lot, so I think it's only fair. I mean, I think the current goal is just teaching the next generation of shinobi. We didn't really have, I guess, the best guidance to be able to do that, and I just hope to be better than the ones that came before me. And I don't know, who knows? Once that's over, I guess that's the cool part of having dreams. You can choose a new one after you're done with that one.
And what do you choose once you're done teaching us?
Did you hear say? She's gonna be Kage.
That's where my money is.
I kind of like the sound of that, but
I wouldn't bet
who
against
knows?
it.
I might 10.
Well, if you become Kage, make sure to remember me, Sensei. You need help.
I'll keep that in
I'm
mind,
sure you wouldn't turn
Arashi.
it down. You're too smart for that.
Sure isn't gonna use me. Mm-mm.
I think it's on this scene that was. Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
I was gonna say, I think it's on this scene that we sort of. Instead of fading, we watch as the camera sort of drifts up to a cloudless sky. And for a few seconds it sort of hangs there. For coming back down to a scene of metropolis of steam. You're in Onsengaku. Here, well, a few years later, for your training exams, it's a city built in the middle of a volcanic caldera. Buildings full of pipes, very much a steampunk-like aesthetic, as sort of the air itself is filled with almost a bit of a cloying haze of steam. There's the smell of fresh perfume burned along with the coal. And, well, I think that is the scene that we sort of bring ourselves to our next break. So, don't touch that dial. We'll be back.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
The roar of the crowds is almost deafening as it rings across and bounces off of the walls of the caldera. The ground is almost shimmering with this color of beautiful silver. as it reflects off of the wide lake the volcano is embedded in. In fact, in the walls of this arena, we see our Guinean hopefuls standing in a line as each Kage from the 5 elemental nations steps forward. Promote the newest tuning. And for Team 6, it is the venerable features of old Gam Gam Yuki who steps forward. I am very impressed. You've done a marvelous job. And they sort of, I think there's like a bit of a small smirk. He looks like an old man who sometimes acts like one just to trick. But in their eyes, they offer Konoko the honor of giving her team their new Chunin flak jackets. Sorry, I don't know if that came across.
We missed the very, very end of it, but we got you.
Alright, got it. So, old Gam Gam Yuki turns and offers Konoko the honor of handing the flak jackets, the Chunin flak jackets, to her team for promotion.
Heck, that's you.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, I was also very distracted by the bot that I just banned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Konoko has the vests.
Well, who's first in line?
Hirashi will be first in line, even though the others probably perform better.
They push him forward. They're like, "No."
They push him forward because at least if he goes first, they don't have to argue with each other over who is first.
They might also respect how well he's done this time. I don't know. You give us.
Yeah.
True. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you're respecting Hirashi a little more.
Maybe.
Being like, you did good in combat this time.
He survived
Yeah.
a one-on-one. I feel like that deserves some celebration.
True.
Mhm. I will award the first vest.
Thank you, Sensei.
Flashback.
I'm very proud of you, Arashi. You've come a long way.
With the help of Sei and Shoji. Teamwork is an important part, even in these solo exams. Wouldn't have learned nearly as much without the two of them.
And what is the time that Arashi kind of flashes back in during the tuning exam that kind of reflects that, I guess, or
Just Arashi thinks back to one mission where the group had to deal with a whole bunch of enemy nin, and even though Sei and Shoji dealt with the most powerful of them, it was up to Arashi to occupy the rest of them in the meanwhile. He had to make sure they didn't figure out that he was doing anything to keep them stuck in his illusions until the others were free to deal with them. Oh. Flashback to the exam? Alright. What? Well, Arashi had helped one of the other exam participants in an earlier stage, dealing with their own insecurities, trying to push forward and get their own Chunin qualification. And then it came time to go head to head. And even though it pained him, Arashi had to pit them against their worst fears and his illusions so that they would break. And it still pains Arashi, but it had to be done.
There, in the stands, is the shinobi that you had, well, terrified into surrendering.
Guilt.
They look at once with you. I think when they surrendered, they had a look of betrayal, but now in the stands, you can see a look of respect.
Even still, to them, Arashi mouths, "I'm sorry."
You see a bit of a pause. I understand.
Okay. Who's next?
Say, like, looks to the side and, like, normally, like, you know, him and Shoji would bicker over who gets to go up first. Say, like, looks to the side, and though he tried to make it seem like he's just kind of, like, looking away, he does, like, shoulder nudge Shoji forward and, like, roll his eyes.
So he's choosing to not go second. He wants to go last.
Shoji is actually... He wasn't going to fight for it. He's actually looking up at the stands as he walks forward. There's a lot of his family up there that are watching him, and he doesn't know how to feel about that as he, like, walks forward, and he...
Did he even end up using much of Ice Jutsu during the exam?
We'll find out in a second. But yeah, he's gonna, like... Thank you, Sensei. And he's trying, like, not to look at his family. Just...
Yeah, she makes kind of a glance over there, but retrains her focus. It says, "I'm very proud of you, Shoji."
It's very kind of you to say. And we do get a flashback of, like, one of the larger group events. We were still sort of in teams, and there's like some kind of monster that is coming in on three indistinct figures, and you see Shoji, like a bullet, just fly in. He has made a Rasengan, like just a solid ball of ice that he has slammed into this thing, and it launches it like through a tree, and then makes an ice dome very quickly over these three. And when you look, they're not the two other of his teammates. There's his cousin, who's like an extremely traditional Yuki clan member. Like, she's fully just straight ninjutsu, a lot of like ice needles and blizzards and things. And then her two teammates. And normally Shoji would almost like lord that over her in like the full season version. Or she would be like, using our family thing. Like there'd be a needling there. But instead he just, you can see he was actually fully worried about the safety of some of his family. And that she was very worried she wasn't going to make it either. And there's just this moment of Shoji takes that responsibility, doesn't say anything about it, doesn't react to it, just like nods, and it comes back to this moment of he realizes, despite whether he wants to or not, he is part of like the main family. Yeah, he's like 6 siblings deep, but the main family, and there's expectations beyond being dismissed, but being expected to help. Like that's what his family does. As much as it's the ice, it's a defense, a wall, a duty. And you see Shoji a lot more somber than he normally would be as he takes this. And that's kind of that scene. Flashback is... I hope to continue to exceed expectations.
I don't have too many doubts about that.
Yeah, you can see he's older. He doesn't have a katana on his back anymore. He's using a lot more ice. Even as he like gently moves back, his footsteps create frost, and his hair is fully tied back. There's nothing in his face as he is back. The music was perfectly timed. Damn.
If that just leaves me, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think it takes him a moment, like looking at his 2 comrades, something imperceptible on his face before eventually say, and steps forward.
Noko will present the fest. Is there anybody in the stands for, say? I'm curious.
You know what? Tuning exams would actually be late enough in the timeline that we've met Yuri.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, Michelle, you can feel free to throw this one up if you want, you know?
I was hoping for this.
Yeah. So, up in the stands, next to the whole family of Yuki, and you can tell me if this seems a little strange to either of you, Shoji or Sei, but I think when Shoji, you stepped up, Rin and Ron, who are sort of flanking Yuri, and they sort of like pull out a big prank. It's like they look at your dour face, they look straight at you, and then they just like explode this giant like snowflake.
Flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a giant ice mural of like they're trying to embarrass Shoji by being extravagant with this, and they're probably the only of his cousins that have really maybe even mastered, exceeded his ice creation in terms of sculpting. So it is a like in the anime chibi artwork of Shoji's face, and like good job or something like super embarrassing like that. But Shoji didn't. No response. The Yuki just like stone cold. Eternally though, the little ice sculpture behind is like, I'm gonna break. Don't you do that. No. Not allowed.
And I think as soon as Sei steps up, you watch as like sort of like the chibi sculptures like stick around for like a few seconds before they deliberately melt and turn into like the scene of like it's behind Yuri, so she definitely doesn't see it, but like you can see her eye twitching as it's like it's chibi figures of Yuri and Sei like like
I can't believe they do this to me. Right behind me. How dare they?
Sei takes the vest and just... Thank you, Sensei. I'm not 100% certain that I've earned it.
Well, isn't that what all these tests are for? You've proven yourself. I'm very proud of you, Sei.
Sei, like, looks up, and there are like tears forming in the corners of his eyes. No one's ever said that to me.
Well, I don't think I will be the last.
He just kind of lowers his head, looks down at the vest in his hands, and his brain flashes back to a moment during the survival exam. All of them in the middle of this sort of sweltering geyser inset volcano, miles long, having to survive from one end to the other and dealing with all of the heat and the constant exhaustion and the dehydration and search for food. And Sei is remembering a moment shadowed by the night where he is looking down at his hands. He is covered in blood, and all of that blood belongs to another young shinobi who is lying breathless beneath him. What? No, get up. No, you should have survived that. No, I'm sorry. No. And he comes out of the flashback and bites down something really hard and just, I still have a lot to work on.
You do. But I think the hardest part of that is admitting that.
Does it get easier? Healing?
I think it depends on why. Some are easier than others. And every single time is different.
Sei's face hardens somewhat and he nods. Then I will never kill without a reason. Never again.
A little bit of concern settles on Kanoko's brow, but she'll put like a hand on his shoulder, kind of pat.
Thank you, Sensei. For everything.
She nods.
And he steps back and looks over at his comrades, nods at them once, and looks down at the vest in his hands.
You see Gam Gam sort of step forward. Congratulations, Team 6. You're one of the few who have managed a full team promotion. From now on, you are no longer getting Team 6. Now, you can go your separate way, or find yourselves working together. It's a new team.
I think in the anime, anytime Shoji has made a smartass remark, there's been like a little bit of like a ice flurry right before he does it. It almost starts, and you see the corner of his lips, and he decides not to. It's like, this is too serious, and he just bows. And thank you.
No need to be so serious. It's like, Gam Gam definitely knows what you're about to do.
Oh, wait, he's not. He's like decided this is more of a serious moment that should be given weight, and I won't stop making jokes forever, Gam Gam. I'm just grateful to be here now with these two. He's gonna take a step back,
You've all
I
grown.
find. Go ahead.
No, just, that's it. If you want to keep talking.
I find most of the other shinobi of our year rather incompetent and not befitting of my own skills. Thus, I would rather remain working with competent teammates. Well, I suppose I won't be going anywhere too soon.
You're muted. I can't hear you, Spree. No, I think that's
Yeah. Well, okay. For your meter if you want to say anything, but if not, as tuning, you will need to lead your own teams, but should we need a competent strike team, you will be reporting to Konoko as well. Team Konoko.
Oh, hell yeah. That's above table, but oh, hell yeah.
yeah.
No, I think Say kind of just like shakes his head. I like how that sounds.
He's the most competent out of us here.
She is, isn't she? In fact, why aren't you coming for my hat yet? I'm getting old, you know.
Something, you're immortal and timeless and never going to lose that hat to begin with.
Flattery will get you everywhere. Flattery will get you everywhere. And I think that is the scene, unless there's something you'd like to add, Spree.
You're still muted in Discord, by the way, babe.
Fuck!
We've been telling you this for like 7 minutes straight.
Shut.
Anything like that? Alright.
I don't know. I don't know what I can say at this point.
Fair enough. Then on that scene, I think to the sounds of cheers in the stands, the chuckles of the most venerable Yuki. He's a great grandfather several times over. Great grandmother, great grandparent several times over. And it's on this scene that we sort of fade out. And come back in. It is several years later, and it is early days yet, perhaps. Year 452 after Shinobi. So, is it 452? Let me double check. There's been so many.
Yeah, no, 452 is right.
Keep going, it's fine.
Alright. And we find ourselves standing arrayed. It is the day after Konoko's election to Mizukage. And the day in which Team 6 is assigned to their posts.
Our mentor is finally Kage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we find ourselves in the
The same
quiet of a side room of the Kage Tower. It's Konoko's office, essentially.
Mhm. That's good too. I like that. If we want to set the scene like us, this was Gam's room, like his office. Joji
Yeah.
spent a lot of his childhood in here with different furniture, with things in different places, different desk decorations. There was like a lot of childhood roughhousing even here where there shouldn't have been. Especially, there's just a lot of Yuki kids and not a lot of Gam. So that's where you spent time with Gam. He appreciates what Konako is doing with the office, but it can't possibly be the same because this is only a bit after Gam died. So Shoji is not as somber actually as when we saw him at the tuning exams, but still quite like apprehensive. He's taller now. His hair is still really well back. There's a scar, and you can tell he is so much more of a like being of ice. Like his breath is always chilled. There's icicles, like there's ice crystals in his hair. He wears less and seems more embodiment of cold. He's become a sage at this point, and you can tell. But yeah, he's not gonna say anything. He's just sort of trying not to be emotional about this, kind of for Konako's sake.
Yeah, no, there's definitely like a heaviness that I think just sits in the room because even though this is like a crowning achievement, like there's still like again, everything is still so fresh. And as Gam being close to really everybody in Team 6, like it's just rough. It's like I think there's kind of a loss for words for
Yeah.
the most part.
Say was there on mission when he died. Like, he saw it happen, you know? He didn't have a lot of closeness to Gam, but he had a lot of respect for him as an authority figure and as a powerful shinobi. And I think for him, this is like, it's the moment you realize the Titan's gone, you know? It's like the moment you realize that, like, not even just that, but like everything is changed now. Like, none of us leave this moment, none of us leave this office going back to what we were before this, you know? And I think he just kind of is sat to the side. I think he summoned Haimaru. I think around these days he kind of just leaves Haimaru summoned most of the time if he doesn't, unless he like doesn't need to. And he's just kind of like leaned against the door on a wall, kind of like looking down, and Haimaru is next to him, like I think flipping through some bingo book entries and like trying not to make
One of
conversation
the
right
rabbit
now.
ones, right?
Yes, Haimaru is the older of the
Yeah,
rabbit
yeah.
ones.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Also, this is the last time y'all will see Haimaru alive, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Oh, the timeline.
Ah,
Jumping on the timeline hurts so bad.
Yeah, we're catching up on the
no,
timeline, friends. It's getting tragic
How
now. This is the
it
last
dare.
time you guys see
hurts
Haimaru alive.
me.
I'm sorry.
I think Haimaru is just sort of like standing at attention, but like ears are a little bit more relaxed, still twitching a little bit. Just not saying anything yet.
Where's Arashi in all this?
How was Arashi?
Oh. Arashi is definitely worn down by
Everything.
all of the events that have led to this many of the respected shinobi being worn down or used until it's up to him and teammates to carry on whatever legacy is left.
Imagine Arashi's color palette being almost like more gray, like less vibrant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oof.
I also feel like, and tell me if this sparks joy spree, I feel like because they like to like represent like where the war is going and things, I think Arashi has at least one more notable scar now.
Yeah.
Can you tell me where it is? I want to know. I want the details here.
Right along the neck.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's
It's like a
nasty.
close cut, yeah.
Yeah. It was almost really bad, but survived.
If there's still this silence, I think Shoji would a smirk again. There's not like an animation. This seems more like real. It's just Gamma would kick my ass if we were being this sad in their office when this is like a big achievement for Konako Sensei.
It is, isn't it? But
It's I can't think of anyone else I'd want sat in that chair.
Agreed. The world is in a trying time. This war is not going to end anytime soon. We need thoughtful leaders, powerful and meaningful ones. I am glad to see you here, even if in the aftermath of tragedy, Sensei.
I'm just glad to have you all nearby too. My first team. Can you believe it?
They gave you a load
We
of
were all
deck.
such brats
You
back
for-
then.
Your first team, and you have to have some of them just avoid the entire issue going on so that you can manage the aftermath.
You don't want to keep going, do you, Arashi?
I mean,
Shoji's face gets like a little harder at that, but he doesn't. He's like, I guess I understand. But damn, we're gonna miss you, man.
Wait. You're leaving the Shinobi forces?
I have to take care of the people this is affecting most, and that's not something I can do while I stay here.
Sei closes his eyes for a long moment, and then, with his eyes still closed, smiles. That's just like you, ain't it? You were never made for this. It's said like a jibe or like a jab, but there's no malice or spite in his tone in the slightest.
Yeah, I think it sounds like a compliment, honestly, at this point.
I'm sure you'll
Exactly.
handle what I couldn't hear.
Hey, between the three of us, we have every level of everything, right? We're covering the whole world. We got leadership, pointing to Konako. I think this shot is framed where the chair and the desk is behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership, Spec Ops to Sei, which, if it sparks joy, is maybe in a darker corner. Shoji gestures to himself, the main forces and the civilians, the regular people. And to Rashi, that there's a window behind him. There's like more light coming in at that
Yeah.
spot. I don't think we would have got this far without you covering our backs, man.
Certainly not. Remember Iron Country? Certainly there's one of us would die there.
Oh, that was a hell of an
country.
adventure.
Still get nightmares. So many kunai.
Mostly I'm convinced I still keep finding sand in places.
I mean, I'm sure you would have at least survived even if you had to get sand out of everywhere.
Nonetheless, I agree with Shoji over there. You've kept us safe. So you'll keep yourself safe out there. Yes?
I tried my best.
Yeah, don't go trying boxing any taijutsu masters or anything, right?
Oh my god, over in the sand village? Incredible. I thought your jaw wasn't supposed to bend that way.
Would you at least help if I ask you next time?
Hey, if you remember, I had at least 3 broken ribs that time. So assuming
I
that's not the
know,
case, I've got your back.
Alright. That's good to know.
Yeah, you call. We'll come running, and I'll get there first.
It's
Still
a race
thinking you're
then.
faster than me, Sage?
Hey, I am reaching speeds unknown to man at this
Don't
point.
hold
Like, the
too much
wind-
against each other.
The
We
wind.
both do things that the other couldn't.
Yeah, respect his abilities. I understand. I'm just saying, I think I'm faster.
I still think I
Maybe.
could kill you if I had to. Just saying.
Yeah, but would
Let's
you
try and
really
keep it
want
friendly.
to?
I always try and keep it friendly. You always gotta make it about... Anyways.
Let's make a
I don't
promise
think
then.
you would really want to, so I'll take that into account.
Sure.
She looks up at Konoko. Let's make a promise then. The 4 of us. When the war is all over, when everything's done, the 4 of us will meet right back here. And we'll go to the Jade Dragon, and we'll get ramen again.
The ramen shop, then.
It's a deal.
And he kind of puts his hand out.
Exactly right.
It's a promise.
I'll hold you to it.
Yoji's hand goes in. His extremely cold hand.
No, you're one of those people.
Nate, he's an ice sage.
I know, but I'm one of the people with cold hands, so I get it. But like,
We're sticking
Your heart
to
is-
what
sorry.
the ramen chef recommends.
I can't get anything else.
I'm pretty sure that's like part of the thing at this point.
Exact.
Though,
He has a menu. No one ever uses it.
no.
The menu's only for people who've never been there before.
well, I have to deploy soon. Special Forces needs me over on the border with Lightning Country, and Yuri will kill me if I don't check in with her before I head out.
She might kill me if you
Remember.
don't check in with her before you head out.
You kill all of us, to be honest. Yes, that even means you, Sensei. That woman terrifies me.
Oh, I know. You certainly know how to pick them.
Sensei knows
Oh,
better
remind me.
than to mess with that.
Sage just blushes and look away at the you know how to pick a line. Just,
We've all helped you before. We know that she will not let you go that easily.
Suppose this is goodbye for now then, yes?
For now,
now.
but you know to keep in touch.
Assuming I'm not too busy with
Even when
deployment and or under black operations, I'll do what I can.
You better keep in touch even when you're in trouble.
Especially when you're in trouble.
Exactly. Who else is supposed to bail you out?
I appreciate your
Hey, that's
bravado.
what I'm here
Guy.
for.
Who's that?
Hi,
Oh, yes,
Maru.
the rabbit, sorry. Yes.
It's my little boy.
You get like a thump to your shin, Shoji.
Shoji forgot he was there. It's like, what the? You need to wear a bell.
All right then. You all take
Am
care
I
of
the
yourselves.
only one without someone watching over their every move?
We got an eye on you.
Which
don't
is why
worry
you
about
got to
it.
be the most careful. Yeah.
Why do you have to give me the most responsibility?
You want
I
me to be
already have
responsible?
so much going on.
You can handle it.
You'll help
Alright.
me out when I need it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
You're one of 2 competent teammates I've ever had. So, sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Don't get
Blame
mushy
you
about it.
both.
I
You're
don't
an
need to.
artist.
It's enough that you
Soon
acknowledge
artist.
it.
Never mind.
All right. Well, let's head out then. The next time I see the 3 of you, this war should be over.
If it's not, we'll just have to make it so that they see things our way.
Or only war
And
that
they
simple.
Oh, come
Good
on.
luck out there, everybody.
You used to be so confident.
See ya.
We can make things happen.
Yeah. See ya.
Take care. Janai, friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like if this was a Japanese version of this, like he would use like I feel like he says like it's friends in the English dub, but like I feel like the word here is either like I'm trying to think of the word that would be used here. I want to say it's almost like even like kampai, as in like just like good luck out there, like as like a comrade sort of thing. This is like the moment where Sei is acknowledging you both as comrades, effectively.
Yeah, some kind of like
It's the most
lifelong
full
comrade
compliment.
acknowledgement.
Like
At
he
this
might even use the
point.
word like he might even like outright like use the word like nakama here, to mean like good friend, best friend.
Mhm.
Yeah. We are the best friends he's ever had. Which means I'll have to just force him to accept my help when it comes to it.
Anyways.
Alright. Anything else you'd like to do in the scene?
I think that scene.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. Then I think with that, we are going to watch as the scene sort of grayscale fades. And we come back not quite at the same moment. We haven't sped past to the year 453. But a little bit. A few months. Really. Wow, it's only been a few months beforehand, as well. We find a scene very similar to this one. Chronicle's office, but dark, dim. There's only 2 people here.
I think we see the other person here first, honestly, given the setup here. Like almost as like they're waiting for the person who is about to arrive because, well, they know what just happened and what he's about to do.
I'd say maybe we see Sei enter thinking that he is snuck in without being noticed first.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I think he is like out of the shadows comes like a loping figure. Their gait is kind of long. Their figure is still mostly humanoid. It's still Sei. There's inky black crawling all over his skin in long lines and markings. His clan tattoos have turned jagged and black and sharpened. His eyes have black sclera, and the sort of irises are a bright yellow. His hands elongate in nails, and a jagged bone and sinew tail swishes behind him left and right as he just kind of steps forward one at a time and then stops moving.
Arashi just stepping forward and...
No, sorry.
Arashi, I don't think you're here for this one.
I'm not here for
It's
this
just
one?
those 2.
Yeah.
It's just those 2. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Hinoko is gripping one of her kunai. Her knuckles are very pale. But there's still just this look of just I don't even know how to describe it. It's just it's sadness. It's just utter sadness. She doesn't want to have to defend herself from Say or anybody else from whatever Say is becoming at this moment in time.
He turns his head a bit, his face fully unreadable as far as emotions, but there are still blood tears leaking from both of his eyes. Sensei?
Does Kanoko have any knowledge of like the reversibility of this?
You know, that's a good question actually. One probably to give to Michelle, I would say.
I'd say that you personally have not been trusted with any sort of... You know that reports of these kinds of transformations have started to trickle in. You are aware of the research that was given to mitigate some of the effects. But you don't know if you can stop it.
You know, it's like plausible, maybe.
Actually, if you will, I think we discussed about this previously, Michelle. I think the idea is that, say, having a curse mark prior to this moment was knowledge that, like, the higher-ups and certainly the Kage had. In fact, one of the things you'd been dealing with back at home was a debate over whether or not we should be keeping a curse mark shinobi so high up in the ranks of our of special forces sort of like unchecked. Like, I wager there were probably at least a faction of counselors who were maybe possibly calling to have me executed, certainly before this. Or bare minimum, arrested.
Yeah. The one thing you know for certain, though, is that so long as Hayasagawa Yuri was around to stop the spread, you could keep the council from executing Sei. And she's dead.
And like, just so I'm like understanding this correctly, like it's been a while, y'all. Like, I'm sorry. And this was at the point that like I think I was in another stream and y'all rated it and said like congrats on Mitsukage, and I was like, what the fuck? So, like this is already like after I had kind of
Yeah, you've been
it
Mizukage
faded
for
out
about a
for
year
a bit.
now.
Like Yuri being assassinated, was that like
Tonight,
was
like right now.
that was tonight, and by who?
Several platoons of Inazuma shinobi attacked the Inazuma compound. It seemed like their orders were to capture or kill me.
Okay.
Yeah. So like an entire platoon somehow from Lightning Country. So you've got a whole bunch of things to worry about because they're like a whole continent, like half a continent.
Okay. Like,
yeah.
I'm missing so much background and context.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. No, you're fine. I'm just like
Yeah, so like the village is in high alert, right? Like like the enemy has literally come to your doorstep and destroyed like a whole compound.
Sei's compound, not just anyone.
Sei's compound, and also the compound of your military officer.
Yeah, yeah, and while like Sei was immediately gone from the scene, I imagine you would have arrived shortly after like the alarm went up and realized Yuri was there and confirmed dead. Every other Inazuma shinobi who was there is also dead. It's also probably not hard for you to tell, given all the foul, fucked up chakra in the air, who killed all of them. Hence why you're probably at where you're at, where you are now, given that you know what this would mean.
Yeah.
I imagine you'd be familiar with Sei's work generally too.
Exactly. Yeah. So like it'd very much be like I mean, it'd be interesting if it was just Kanoko being the only person like walking through this compound and seeing everything. There'd just be kind of like peering into each room and each scene kind of getting worse and worse until finally seeing Sei in this form. We'll say that she was still holding that kunai, not necessarily as a means to arm against Sei, but just kind of a, hey, I need to maybe like keep myself protected while I'm walking through this compound that apparently just got like wiped. But yeah, no, she finds him. And I think seeing that that tear going down his face, the camera kind of does a split face scene of a tear going down her face as well. And she'll say, no matter what happened or what you do here, or what this thing is offering to you, or it can make you do, it's not going to bring her back, Sei. You have to tell it no.
I don't need power. You know what he did. What they did. This clan is a stain on existence. I will read them clean. I won't stop. I won't rest until every Inazuma is dead.
What then?
The screaming will stop.
Who told you that?
He did. He promised. He promised if enough people died, the screaming would stop. And I told him no. I told him I wouldn't kill anyone without a reason. I told you that. Every single one of them will die. All of them will die. Them and anyone else in my way.
What he did wasn't fair to you. What anyone on this compound did was not fair to you. But please, this has to stop.
Can't stop. Not now. Not after this.
No, we can. No, you need to stop now. We can fix this at this point, but if you go any further, there's nothing else I can do or say to the rest of the leadership. They're already out for you, Sei.
All I had was her. And he ripped her from me. And I couldn't stop him. I'll kill them so they can't cause any more pain. Every single one. And if you want to stop me, Sensei, he steps forward, then you'll have to kill me.
She wasn't all that you had. Can you not remember everyone else that, it started with a small group that supported you, but is that not grown? All of the others?
I'll take them too if I don't kill him. I'll take all of you. I'll watch all of you die. I won't do it.
No, we are not defenseless little things that he can just pick off one by one. You know that. You recited that entire track record of mine the first day we met. Do you think he could just do that so easily? No. No, if we fight together, we can stop him.
That's what she said! That's what she said! She's gone now.
I know.
I'm leaving now, Sensei. I'm leaving this village. And I won't rest until every Inazuma and everyone else responsible for this is a stain on the earth. I'm sorry.
I don't think I can stop you. But I hope that you'll come to some type of conclusion that what you're doing is something that needs to be stopped, and you'll stop that yourself.
This war has taken so much from everything. Everyone is suffering. It's all his fault. Kill him. I have to kill him. I'm going to kill him. I'll surpass my father's legacy in blood.
And
I think the last thing I can leave you with is this, then. Every action obviously has a separate and opposite reaction. The echoes of what you do now will just continue to reverberate and cause a horrible echo chamber. Please don't listen to those.
Sei closes his eyes really hard, like draws himself in as hard as he can. Thank you, Sensei. As the tail drops to the ground, the claws shrink back in. The eyes go back to their normal white. Breathe. Starts stepping towards her.
She doesn't flinch.
Gets right up to her face before disappearing in a burst of lightning speed, disappearing in a static, as if walking straight through her. Bye.
See? I think that's
Yeah.
really cool they said.
That's it. That's sort of the end of that dark night. Well, my friends, that was certainly
The
kind of
feels. Like,
Mhm.
those were. Oh my god, dude. That was a real tear. Holy shit.
I
More crying on stream.
Blame
Yeah,
Foxy.
listen. That was
It's always your fault.
powerful. I have so many thoughts about Sei and Konoko and where they are now in the aftermath of where everything is, especially now that in the present, Sei has effectively wiped out most of the Inazuma clan, including his father at this point. Like,
Good to his word.
I mean, fuck his dad.
yeah,
Fair.
it kind of
True.
sucks.
We should talk about this post show, I think.
I agree.
fair enough.
True.
Alright, well, to my 4 incredible players today, please. That was some freaking amazing RP. Anyways, tell us who you are, who you play today, and where we can find you next, because we need more of that amazing art in here. And let's go in the same order as we introduced ourselves in. So, starting off with our Mizukage.
It's me! Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Hecla. You know, I'm here, and I'm on your screen. I returned tonight with Fumakonoko, and it was a great time. Dusting it off this, an older character is always fun. It's always fun to revisit. Yeah, you can find me all over the internet at Sir Hecla, including Twitch, Itch, Twitter, I guess, as long as supplies last, who knows? Etc., etc. Just find me as the best place to figure out where I'm going to be in the TTRPG space next, because I tend to wander a lot and do a lot of things and wear a lot of hats. But at least for like the near future, chances are you probably won't see me for the next like 3 weeks or so, because I am going to be on rotation at the coast, doing work with sea turtles, which is going to be really cool. It's
Living that
so
mermaid
fucking
life.
cool. I'm so excited. But
Heck has
chances
so many
are,
hats.
like, either like the Wi-Fi isn't going to be good, or I'm not going to have a space to stream, or a combination of those two. So I'm probably just going to be off. Like, that's what you should anticipate. If not, who
Otherwise,
knows?
I
I might be around this channel. We'll see. I don't know yet, and I probably won't know until tomorrow. So stick around. Yeah, this channel and a couple other channels is where I'm at. Just check the socials, because I don't shut up about them on
check
there.
out Hex channel.
Yeah, or my channel. I haven't streamed in a while, but like
You-
you can technically see me on there. But yeah,
Watch the
that's
old
me.
stuff. Watch the KFC dating sim.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saved that one actually.
I hope you did.
I
It was
hope I
so
did, but
funny.
Alright, I guess next up, it is our commander of the battalions.
Oh.
Saluting a lot. Let's go with
It's
that's
yeah.
happening a lot
platoon. You
tonight.
guys are you're charged of the platoon, not the battalion. There we go.
I wasn't gonna
It's
trick
division,
because
actually,
I don't
by
know
the way.
military words either.
It's
Anyways,
division, actually, by the way. Just saying, that's all.
What about Vision?
I wouldn't know either way. Anyways, hello Twitch and hello Internet. Thank you for watching us. I am Tate Washburn. You can find me at Tate the Terrific anywhere that I care to be found. If you find me somewhere else, I just challenge you to prove it. Anyways, lost my train of thought. I have been playing Shoji, the now very serious, if still a little more smartass swordsman and military commander. You can find me mostly on here. I will be in The World Within You come 2 weeks and change. And I know we have another project coming up, but I'm not exactly sure if it streams quite yet. I think we're just starting recording it, so I won't talk about that yet. But we have
Everyone
more
loves
stuff
the
coming
world
up.
within you.
It's so good. I love being in it. It's an excellent time, as much of an excellent time as this was. But yeah, you should really actually follow this channel's Twitter and
Yes.
come watch us on stream. That's Neon Lights Roleplay. You follow us on Discord. Funnier people than me are running both of those. And that's it, folks.
But you also get to experience Tate. So follow.
This is fair. I am a little involved with that.
Alright, then to our not recently, are discharged, but still doing good in the on the war front. Free.
Outro spree.
Who is Capsley?
GEP.
Are you okay?
Spree? My love?
Yeah, what's up? I'm good.
It's your outro time.
Outros, real quick.
It's
Last
my
thing.
outro time.
Yes.
It's
I
yours.
gotta
Yes.
say again that they
Like-
can't find me on Twitter unless I get hacked to advertise Ray-Bans.
Yes. Which is still very funny.
Fine. If I get hacked to advertise Ray-Bans again, you'll see my Twitter be active. Otherwise, find my furry Twitter. If you do, don't say anything or I will stab you.
In
Otherwise,
Minecraft.
yes, in Minecraft. Otherwise, continue to watch NLR. We've got great shows. It's always lovely to see what Michelle runs with our, Naruto themed
Yeah.
campaign. always nice to see.
Yeah.
You can always tune in and listen to her describe food and just salivate at the thought.
Always with the food.
That's the highlight. And yes, Lan, I will always pretend to hear the outro so that I can be involved, because why not?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Then last but not least, Foxy.
Hey folks, it's me, Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. You can find me all over the internet if you're looking for me at Young Foxy. It's YUNGFOXXII. Sometimes there's an underscore in the middle, so if you can't find one, look for the other one. More importantly than I, keep an eye on anything that I'm doing over here on Neon Lights Roleplay, because there's a whole lot of it. More specifically, if you want to see more of my lovely face doing all kinds of things, keep locked in for next Tuesday as we return for episode 3 of my Kingdoms in Warfare mini-series, A Good Death. The Battle of Bayheart has been won, but the Undead Scourge has been unleashed, and Vashketh, the Unliving King, who is like anime villain level hot, by the way, threatens the party with calamity. So we'll see how they deal with that, and also maybe there's some political, personal drama happening. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Outside of that, I just keep an eye on things in Neon Lights in the background here. I have so many things that I'm working on. A lot of them won't become fully manifest until next year. But instead, simply keep an eye locked on the channel that you see here. Know that anything that you see happen on Neon Lights is something that I have put my time and energy into making sure that it is the best thing possible, because everything that we do here is an incredible act of roleplay and creativity and personal acuity, and I love taking part in these great stories. I said it outside of post-stream, but I want to say it very quickly live on stream here. I want to give so many love, praises, and kudos to Michelle for a campaign that was an undertaking that I think any of us admitted that early on, to be our first GM show, none of us would take on. Because as a reminder, for all those who are watching over here, A Blade's Will is Michelle's first long-running campaign she's ever run, and it's
run
incredible.
for years.
Yeah, it's a marvelous experience. And so with that said, it gives me esteemed pleasure, honor, glory, and all purpose to give the floor and the microphone back to our esteemed and incredible Sage of Six Paths.
Laps in chat.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, I'm Michelle. I don't exist out on the internet, and I managed to. Well, first off, I didn't have to actually do that much because you four are incredible. You can do RP with basically me throwing out, "Hey, I have this idea. Can you guys go and RP it?" And then you did, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
so...
but you still have to do so much.
Okay,
for all the other ones.
We did rich. That's fair. But thank you to you guys. And you can find me not here for a while because I'll be out also for maybe not 3 weeks, but for 2.5 weeks. So yeah,
back in 2.5.
I'll be back. I'll be back eventually. Yeah. A Blades will be happening again. Maybe not in September. We'll see. But definitely, we will be back in October for the final sprint. So be prepared. Well, friends, this has been an amazing session. You have been an amazing cast. Our audience has been wonderful. I think it's time to say goodbye for the evening, yes?
Sleep well, everybody. Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye now. Bye-bye.